They wanted to give him time, a chance to make it work. Why do you think that stance has now changed?
Well, I don't think everybody at the club wanted to give him more time. I think Todd Burley was his biggest supporter. He was instrumental in appointing, and he's the one who's really been backing him and keeping him in his job for such a long time. I know there have been lots of other senior people at Chelsea who wanted to make the change a lot earlier, but ultimately they weren't able to make that decision up until yesterday. And if you look at their form, it just simply has not been good enough, and results haven't been good enough for a Chelsea manager. Under Chelsea's previous owner, Roman Abramovich, he probably would have been sacked 3 or 4 times. Chelsea have a history of changing managers very, very quickly when results are not going well, and has had 7 months at Chelsea, and results have just not been good enough. I mean, if you look at it this year, I think from the beginning of January up until a couple in 11 games, then they had a couple of wins against Leeds, Dortmund and Leicester before the international break. But then they drew at home against Everton, and then that performance yesterday, they just haven't been playing well. They haven't been scoring goals, and unless they win the Champions League, they're going to miss out on the Champions League next season. And obviously that is a massive, massive consideration for Chelsea's American owners.
Look, I think the leading candidates at the moment in alphabetical order are Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager, also Kieran McKenna, the Ipswich Town manager. Now, the reason Chelsea are going for those 3 men is because they believe that all 3 of them have the attributes that they are looking for. Let's start off, for instance, with McKenna. Why do they like McKenna? Simply because of the fact he's done such a great job at Ipswich, and also because he's got a lot of experience as a coach in the Premier League, working at Manchester United under managers like Jose Mourinho, and also at Tottenham as well. Now, Thomas Frank, a lot of senior people at Chelsea have been very impressed with the job that he has done at Brentford, brought them into the Premier League, has established them as a Premier League side on a smaller budget than a lot of his rivals. And also his personality, the way he carries himself, the fact that he's such a good communicator, and he's more adaptable when it comes to style of play. He's not as dogmatic as somebody like Enzo Maresca. Because I've been told today that there is a high-profile mystery name that Chelsea are interested in as well. Obviously, I've been trying to do my best to find out who this mystery name is. I have not made much progress so far, but I do also know that Chelsea have been interested in a few other names as well. It's not a massive pool, but the other names that they've been interested in include people like Sebastian Hoeneß, the Stuttgart manager, and also Roberto De Zerbi, who has just left Brighton. Now,
First, Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca has defended